Did you say Allah Akbar? Akbar is from the same root of the spider ak-bawr, ḥakbār, or bīsh, ak-bawr. I'm not native to Israel. I'm an American. My name is Highlighter. That's what I do. I'm also a servant of Yahweh. And I hear people say, Allah Akbar. I'm looking at the spider in front of me, and the spider is, in Hebrew, one of the words is ak-bawr, ak-bawr. The other one is samamet. But this one is connected to the root of the same word people use when they call upon Allah, Akbar. Yahweh is sovereign, and I'm going to show you the spider in Israel. These are the signs He has shown to me. He is making the spirit of the anti-Messiah visible. I come to you in the name of Yeshua, our Messiah. I put my trust in Him, and this is where it has led me since 1997. He has not changed, but I fear Him, and I trust Him. You're looking at His sovereignty right now. The spider is on the left, the agent is on the right. The world is red, and so is this goddess. And there is our hope. Either you choose the left or choose the right. That's your choice, and that's good we have a choice. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Ephesians 6:12. All the work that I present through this YouTube channel is called Worldwide Widow on YouTube. Everything there has nothing to do with the particular person. You may think that we speak against people, but no. There's a spirit that's attached to this planet. It wants to destroy the entire planet. It is a spirit, and Yahweh, our Maker, makes it visible out of His love and to give us time to repent. See the spider in Israel. None seeth me, she said, in the book of Isaiah 47. I call that Agent 47, because Agent 47 had the words of our Creator and has revealed the number one enemy of Israel to us. See also Revelations chapter 17 and 18. These three books speak about the same Spirit, and the Spirit manifests. The nations are led by it. Yahweh is our helper, and here is, I'm continuing showing 8 and 3, or 8V, as on the spider. But this file is only for Israel. You will need to see the 10-minute video on the brick of Ur. The kings of Samaria had made a ziggurat to Inanna and put her name on it to honor her, and that's what the kings are doing today, whether they know it or not. But that's what I'm here for, is to share, to show the danger, the things that are not seen. And it's by the power of the resurrection of Yeshua, our Messiah, that I'm able to see. Because our Father, Yahweh, the Creator of all things, He alone knows everything, and He sees everything. And I hope that you see His kindness and His power, that we can trust Him and keep and be safe through Him. This came to my attention. This is how the Spirit of Yahweh led me. There were changes in the government logo. This is common practice. This is what the nations do. G7 Summit. The female black widow spider, it has 8 legs. Water is also a goddess symbol. Inanna is the goddess of Samaria, and she says that she is the source of life, that we can drink from her, that she is the water and she is the door, the 8th door, Babylon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Count, here are 8. That's the other door. Inanna is trying to gather the nations and everybody on this planet and let us come through her, that she is a door, and to believe that she is our life source. And it's blasphemy, and judgment is coming from Yahweh, our Creator. But now He gives us time to see. I hope you enjoy the works of our Creator, that you're encouraged to see the power of the resurrection of our Messiah. Inanna is at the center of the world's narrative. Everything you see in the media and the news is led by her and controlled by her, because Yahweh has given that authority to the Spirit that's in the world. You participate in the feast of the world, it's led by Inanna, because the spirit of the world is led by Inanna. Whether it's a movie, music, it does not matter what it is. The spirit of the world is led by Inanna. That's the danger of the feast. This is not a meaningless pattern called apohymnia, but Yahweh shows me the name and symbol of Inanna. Take a second and see if you can see. There's only a few people who are subscribed to the channel. Others have seen or haven't been invited to see the video and the data. I boast the works of our Creator and the works of our Messiah. I take no credit. I give all the credit to Yahweh. Here is the appearance of the name and symbol of Inanna, who is sitting right there with the kings of the earth. She is boasting that Yahweh's servants will see. Mockery and blasphemy. 8 and V. 8 and V. If you notice, this square was moved. My guess is if it was all together to form one square, it would be easy to see multiple symbols. The iron cross, the double hourglass, and the number 8. They both match the name on this brick to the left. That reveals the name of Inanna that has the number 8 and 3 in it. It was here in the movie Barbie. 8 and 3. The heart is synonymous with the chevron. It has 3 sides. 8 and 3. It is common, the 8 is above the 3, a chevron V shape. I have plenty of data. There's no excuse to think anything different. Yahweh requires us to hear the matter before you make a judgment, and there's at least 4 or 5 hours, not more. I want to limit the data, and so there's plenty of data to see. So look on the channel, look to the videos, and compare the data. This is the end credits for the movie The Black Panther Part 2. 8 and V, right here. Here is Barbie. They put the symbol again. I also seen it in Transformers, the new Transformer movie. So if you subscribe to the channel, you'll see when I do a file like this for the films. The kings of the earth who worship and serve Inanna, they fear Inanna, but they do not fear Yahweh. They have one mind. Revelation chapter 17:13, verse 17 as well. Just as he did with Pharaoh. Revelation 17 shows that our Father, the Creator, put this into the mind of the people. He is the one who is sovereign. I don't give them no credit at all. I do not say that, look what they're doing. No, look what Yahweh's doing. Fear Yahweh, don't fear them, because He is the one who dresses the nations. These clowns right here, the hair, that's a color like a clown hair. Yahweh did that because He is the only power that there is. Romans chapter 13:1. He gave authority to the nations to rule by, but He is the source of all. He is the one who's clever. Your partners, Israel, are mixed, and that's our dilemma. We have to wait till our Messiah comes to deliver us from these powers, but right now you see and you know that we are all mixed up until we are delivered. They have one mind, and they show the signs as well. These are people you partner with in Israel. This is how the spider crept into Israel, by these false prophets, false teachers. Here he wants to be a prophet. Are you called to be a prophet? And look at his colors, the colors of the female black widow, the colors of the globalist. And they all continue to do it. They don't see. And they are all believing the Trinity. They worship the Trinity, and all the Trump prophecies that failed were done by people believing in Trinity, and many of them have these same signs and symbols. The colors of the female black widow and the cross and heart, the 8 and 3 right here. That's how they killed people in the Crusades, in the Spanish Inquisitions. We had a Knights Templar, and this is what they used. And that's the same spirit that I see, and it's in all the earth. It's the same spirit of the Tartarian kingdom of the old world. It existed then, and it still exists now. The kings of the earth are making agreements with Inanna, and they bring it to Israel. And you'll see more images that show churches that are very old. So this is nothing new. It's not new for Israel's kings to make agreements with Inanna. This is the same spirit that came into Israel that destroyed the nations, that caused them to fall. Now this is supernatural right here, to show me a pair of shoes that have a little bit of red on there. Inanna is a goddess, and her name means red, to be red, because the goddess worship uses red, because the color of the planet Venus is red, and the color of red is more prominent in all the earth than any other color. The world is red, and if you're red, you're dead. In other words, come out of the world, come out of the worship of Inanna and the worldly system, or you'll be separated from Yahweh forever. Here are the things that Yahweh showed me in the past that I want you to see to make sure you understand. Yah is willing. You will see in Israel that you will know to come out of her. Revelation 18:4. The constellation of Orion and the hourglass, the female black widow spider, This is what he showed to me, a perfect match. This is what the nations align to, the number 8, and Orion, the spirit that's behind it, because Yahweh has made it. This is his cleverness. And this is what the nations align to. The mystery religions, by symbols and symbols and names. There are many conspiracy theorists that have a lot of details. I have the revelation on some of the issues or some of the points of this that we're looking at, but the details I do not have. But I personally believe, from what Yahweh showing to me, that He is speaking to and revealing matters to the not conspiracy theorists, but to the secret societies, because these are the ones who lead the nations, and these are the ones who dress with the symbols of the female black widow. It's like the Freemasons. All their symbolisms you'll see will match this spider. The chevron, like to the left right here. This is for the younglings, the spiderlings that are young. They have the chevron and the number 8, octograms. The spider and the brick of Nemu both match, showing 8 and 3, 8 and V, in the name of Inanna, the Queen of Heaven. Her name is in the world, and this is the playlist called the Spider playlist. Will show to you this the name and symbol of Inanna in these places, in things in the world. So see the brick of When you do, you'll see the Hebrew letter Yod on top of the name, which will show to you visually that Yahweh is the one who sends out the name. Here's another file that you should see that after the brick of the introduction, because this is a spirit that's attached to the world. It's attached to Christianity. It's attached. It's even attached to Judaism. The Kabbalists that does Kabbalah, Buddhist and Hindu, all the world religions who have not accepted the Messiah will show these signs and symbols of this female black widow spider. This is the grace of our Creator. His patience will be seen by some who He has called and who He has chosen to see. He made the constellation of Orion millions and millions of years ago. He's been patient to wait till this time now that the world matches the constellation of Orion, which matches the female black widow spider. Here is the tree of life. So we have the Kabbalah is inside the churches. So take a look and recognize there are churches. I've seen a temple. You'll see a head where there is a Islamic mosque right next to a Catholic temple church together, because the anti-Messiah wants to include everybody and everything. Right there is a number 8. You see? It could be my mistake. Maybe it appears that way. Sometimes it's a natural pattern, sometimes it's not. But I've seen the letter V right there underneath it. 8 and V. I don't think it's a mistake with my eyes. And here is the golden calf connection to the name of Inanna. Yahweh shared with me. This is a new understanding of the golden calf, and I wait for Him to confirm if what I see is correct. But as far as I can tell, that in Chinese, if you wrote the name Sun in Chinese, it's the number 8. And Sunday is the 8th day. And the circle if it's just a circle like the snake that bites the tail, the Ouroboros, if you take that serpent and if you twist it, it forms the number 8. So Yahweh, in many ways, is showing to me that this circle on top of the head is synonymous with the number 8. And these points right here, there's 3 of them, like the chevron. 1, 2, and 3. So what I'm looking at is Isis and Hathor, the Egyptian gods, have this symbol. And I ran into it the first time a long time ago. I was a Tibetan Buddhist. I was a Buddhist for 15 years, and if you look at the Thangka paintings, you'll see the paintings have the sun and the moon disc in the left corner and the right corner of the paintings, of the Thangka paintings. And the sun and the moon is a symbol of wisdom and compassion. And it does not matter the philosophy, because you will see the sun and the moon worship in all the nations. Matter of fact, you'll see the Virgin Mary hold the baby, and you'll see 2 discs, a big disc and a small disc, the sun and the moon. The sun is a star. The god and goddess is a star, symbolized by the number 8. And you'll see it right there, the Dingur. That's the oldest reference that I've seen so far, is the Dingur, the Sumerian number 8. And this is where all the gods come from out of Sumeria. Here is a crescent. So that little dot is synonymous with the number 8. So it's 8, and the crescent moon is the shape of a V. Now this data is not that urgent, that important, but it's a bonus for me, an extra piece of data that helps to clear up in my mind the things I've seen with the name of Inanna on the brick of Ur. And Yahweh is showing to me this connection with the golden calf, because when when Moses came down from the mountain, he seen they were worshiping the golden calf, and in the scriptures, our Father, the Creator, he says, "These are your gods." As far as I can see in scriptures, it was one golden calf, and it says, "These are your gods." As I am learning about the Trinity, and Yahweh reveals to me many aspects of the Trinity, the spirit of the world is led by a Trinity. Hinduism, Buddhism, all the religions of the world, Babylonian religion as well, Zoroastrianism, a Trinity, all the world's a Trinity. So if you are following a Trinity, you are joined to the spirit of the world that believes in the Trinity. And here's your gods right here. These are your gods. That's what he said. Yahweh says he is the one, the only one. But the world chose something different. Here is the Dingur and the V. The same on right here. The sun disk and the horns that make a V. They're all the same thing. They all point to 8 and V, or the number 3. Even the crucifix was chosen. 3 nails were chosen, not 4. So this is the Roman Catholic idol that they chose. 3 nails that it would match their God in the name of Inanna. You'll see right here the cross. This is Hillsong in Australia. The cross is 8. The heart is a chevron. It's the same thing that you see right here with Isis and the horns of the bull. This on top of the horns. If you look here, you'll see this is what Hillsong did. Heart, the cross in the heart is 8 and 3. one of the brothers from a channel called the Daylight Riders, Babylon Watch is the other name. He forwarded this to me, and I took a look, and it was a witness to what Yahweh's shown to me. The same thing. The 8 is on top of the V. Yahweh had lifted me up and edified me, and I was very excited to see that the body Messiah is working together just fine. There is more evidence of the resurrection of Yeshua our Messiah when my brother sends to me a file with this right here symbol of something Yahweh's been revealing to me for a long time. That just speaks a lot, that the body Messiah is working together just fine. So if you're out there alone, you think you're alone, you're not alone, because Yahweh will reach you with messengers and send to you His words when He needs to, because He is the one who is sovereign. We made a covenant with Him, and we're seeing the results of His promise. Here's the image He showed to me before the brothers showed Miss Universe. It's the same thing. In Deuteronomy chapter 28:64, we're told that you will be worshiping the gods of the nations. Deuteronomy 32 says that Israel is a portion of Yahweh, but the nations that shake their fist at Him, this is what they're left with, Lucifer to rule over them, because they have rejected the Creator. But Yahweh's patient to open our eyes to see. He did with me when I was a Buddhist, and He'll do with anybody from any, does not matter what your religion or what we've done in the past. I've done worse in Buddhism, and I'll save it for, I have testimonies that will come later to show the mercy of our Father. On the forehead, right there, the octagram is the same as Islam. These are octagram religions. The Roman Catholic Church, Buddhism, Hinduism, Jainism, Islam, they're all octagram religions. So why are you going to church on Sunday, the 8th day, and call it your Sabbath? We are to have our Sabbath on the 7th day, and then the 8th day we come together and have coffee. But don't count the 8th day as a set apart Sabbath. That's the mistake that people do not see. The church is blinded that the cross is the number 8. He showed me the crucifix matches the name and symbol of Inanna. You'll see here there are 4 nails, 4 here, 4. None of us know the truth because none of us were there. Matter of fact, none of you can tell me that Jesus rose from the dead because you were not there. But I'm going to tell you my testimony because I have seen the things He's shown to me that reveals to me that I can trust that He did raise from the dead with power, because how else would I be able to see the things that I see? How else would I be able to stop smoking cigarettes and doing drugs and doing wickedness? It's His power of the resurrection. The power of Inanna is to turn a man into a woman. I read the encyclopedia. Go to encyclopedias. The World Book is called. Go to the World Book and type in Inanna, and you'll see that she's into politics and the government with the kings of the earth. And her power, she claims, is to turn a man into a woman through like transgenderism. But Yahweh can fix all that. He had mercy on the Enoch. He'll have mercy on you too, no matter what we've done wrong. That's why He sent His Son, to reconcile us back to our Creator. And He is the one who is revealing these things to me, not the Son. The Father is above all and knows all. Take a look and see the comparison. 4 nails, 3 nails. It does make a difference because the 3 nails, it forms the idol that matches the spider and the name on the brick of Ur. There is a key You see there the cross and 3 holes. And Yahweh shows me the key. This is from a movie. The Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning movie, Part 1. Again, the filmmakers are using the symbol and blasphemy in the movies, and the audience is worshiping the name and image of Inanna, and they do not know it. So when you get to the file on the films, I will show you the transformers where they put this here image on top of a hill to a high place, and they're looking at it, worshiping it. Inanna is a cover for Lucifer, and she is collecting your souls right now. Whoever is out there listening should take this as a warning that our weapons, or the warfare is not what you see in the physical. It's in the spiritual realm. She's gathering souls for that great day. Here are some more matches. The Kali Yantra right here. As a Tibetan Buddhist, the Kali was one of the deities. And in Hinduism, it's shared by Hinduism. The Jewish, the YHWH emblem of the Jesuits is the cross and 3 nails. I can't give them no credit, of course not. At one time I thought that the Jesuits are the ones who are the ones who are in control, that are doing all these things. No, it's not. It's Yahweh is the one who's doing it, and He's the one who sent this spirit in the world. And there's nothing that people can do except for being cleaned by the blood of the Lamb. That's your only hope. Nice Templar. This is a spirit in the world, and it cares nothing about your religion. It cares nothing about your race, because Inanna is the original Nazi. She wants to destroy everything that's Jewish, and as well as the human race, but she's particularly after the Jewish people, the portion of Yahweh. She's behind racism. Because if you find in racism, like the Aryan Brotherhood, the Odinism, they have a goddess as well. There's a book out there you'll see, is when God was a black woman. So the black folks, you know, they have their own black goddess. You know, the Africans and other traditions have their own take, their own belief of a goddess. And so racism is not of one. You can't just sit there and point the fingers at the Aryan Brotherhood or Germans or whoever, because Inanna is behind it all. She's playing all sides. Here's the key. It's matching the brick of Ur and the spider. These are the great powers of Yahweh, our Creator, and I confess that this, my belief, is that the resurrection of Yeshua has done this, that I would fear Yahweh, that I would know that He is my Creator. Don't know about you, but this is my belief, and these are the things He's shown to me, and I'm taking my time to share with you because this is my service. This is my duty to serve. It's a keystone, and by it, people can see the spirit of the anti-Messiah can be seen in this way. The Trinity and our number 8 is what to come out of. Yahweh is powerful. This key is 8 and 3, the very symbol of the anti-Messiah. It has one mind. Inanna is a triple deity of Babylon, a covering for Lucifer. That key, it also matches this symbol right here, the emblem of Iran. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many ends are there that are alike? There are 8 that are alike. And this thing, it looks like a mustache. I've seen that. This is very common to see, or not common, but those who are watchmen that are gifted by the Spirit of Yahweh will see this with the globalist. If you look for the footprint of Buddha, you'll see this on the footprint of Buddha. So it's shared by other religions. That's the whole point of seeing these symbols by those who are that have been delivered by our Creator, is that they all point to the same spirit of the anti-Messiah that is in agreement. Now you can see that Yah willing that this same spirit is in your land as in all the world. Messiah, Yeshua, is our only hope. I've covered 2 videos. I'll get to the other ones as Yah leads and provides the way. So please see the videos in the folder, the playlist called The Spider. You'll find particular interest in Tartaria that's coming out, and you'll notice these symbols that I'm showing you now are in the Tartarian old world. Yahweh of armies, He is my light and my salvation. Psalms 27:1. And because I see right here, this Israel is in danger. There was a change in the logo. And I'll show you what Yahweh's revealed to me. And you can compare. Here it is in the Barbie trailer, 8 and V. The same thing. The heart of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, same thing. There's many, many examples. The Twitter blue check, 8 and V. Some patterns are natural, but Yahweh showed to me it's a spirit in this world that He has sent. Ben Garir, his hat is always tilted to the left, but he is on the far right. There is a change in the logo that shows the shift in power. And when a person is influenced by Inanna that does not have the blood of the Lamb, you will not be controlled by Yahweh. In other words, if you want a cigarette, you're going to smoke a cigarette. If you want to do some drugs, I guarantee it, you're going to do some drugs. Until you get to the point to where Yahweh, our Creator, has control of you, and we humble ourselves and let Him lead us. He is the only one who will do that. He will keep us from doing wickedness. He will keep us safe from making wrong. He will keep us from turning down the wrong street and having a car accident. But the devil will do the opposite. The devil will make sure that you turn the wrong street and you do have an accident and you do die. Or you go commit a crime. This is the real power in the world. This is what it's like to live without the blood of the Lamb. Some of you that are out there that are rich and you're prosperous and you think everything's fine, but you have no idea that without the blood of Yeshua, our Messiah, you're going to be misled, even to your death. He is our cover and our protection. These are ancient idols. This is no coincidence. All three of them, you see, they are in agreement. The chevron is right below the eyes. Chevron is below the eyes, and the eye idol is the number 8. It's a symbol, not a number. To us humans, it's a number, but to the unseen forces that are in the world, it's a symbol, and not a number 8. Compare this symbol here, the Tartarian old world, the giant of Inanna, because her name is here. This symbol here, the chevron, is seen here. 1, 2, 3. And the breast here is the circles. Here is the name of Inanna, the symbol of Inanna, and the star of Inanna together. The nipples show 88. Right here, 88. There's octograms right there. They put it there because it has some kind of a meaning. It's not just meaningless. Right here is another octogram. And here is my other witness. So Israel is not alone. Israel is not being condemned or accused. The word of Yahweh will condemn you if you don't have the blood of the Lamb. We know this from Romans 8:1. But look right here. This information should help you, whoever is watching this. The circle on the top and the chevron. The same thing here. Same spirit. And on her shield is an 8-pointed star. Here is a college logo. There are 8 teeth in the mouth and a chevron. You see the number 8 is above the chevron. The YHWH logo for the Jesuits. This is the emblem of Pope St. Francis. He has the 8-pointed star of Inanna. The same you'll see right here. They're all matching, and this YHWH is right here. Same thing right here, 8 and V. The V, the 3 nails, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 on the giant. And right here on the nipples is the number 8. So I'm showing you the number 8 is synonymous with 2 circles right here. That's seen in the logo for Israel's logo. The cross and shield and the heart is the same. Like Hillsong in Israel 2008, the spider came to you. It came to Israel. Hillsong worships the name of Inanna. One of the ways the nations worship Lucifer. Yahweh's revealed this from the brick of Ur. Major internet companies and media companies show the eye idol in their brands. When you see enough, you compare and you'll make your own judgment as the Spirit of Yahweh leads you or not. Bloodline is a vampire game. Google, Yahoo, Facebook, Flickr, Zoom, they all show the eye idols. Because there's a spirit that's over them. It's not because they're evil companies. These are people, for example, I'm an American, and my American brothers, you know, they work really hard going to these companies and spend their time, their life to try to make better for their families. And it would be very terrible to accuse them of being evil. It's not the person. There's a spirit attached to this. It's in the form of a female black widow spider. This is a spirit that leads the world and leads the nations, and many people do not know it. That's the power that's behind Google and Yahoo and Facebook and Flickr and Zoom and all these corporations. Look at your internet corporations, the authority of the internet, and you'll see they have octograms as well. The entire world system is bowed down to Inanna by the number 8. The kings of earth lay with Inanna, and they do business with her. They have one mind. For Elohim has put it into their hearts to fulfill his purpose, to be of one mind, and to give their kingdom to the beast, until the words of Elohim are fulfilled. Yahweh gets all the credit. This is his plan. He's the one who made us for his purpose. Octograms on the buildings. Everything has a purpose. These old buildings had the circles on them, as I showed before. Whether this is an eye idol or not, they're not together like two eyes, but they put these on these buildings, the two rings. You'll see it in the White House. You'll see it in government buildings. You'll see it, in all the world. And there's nothing on top of this building, but my guess is it had this cross right here, which is the number 8, on top of this big building. Look how large this building is. Lucifer was ruling the world then and now, but I speculate that things got out of control, and Yahweh, who is sovereign, put a stop to it because he set boundaries on everything. If he let Lucifer run wild and do what he wanted, our world would still have these buildings everywhere with the crosses everywhere. But now that they're destroying them, it hides the truth that Lucifer is ruling our planet. Inanna does business with the kings of the earth, knowingly or not. Here's an example. Monolabs has shown this spirit that's attached to them, and that's what I'm showing to you, the number 8, 8, and 8. Now the point is to compare symbols, so I don't just look at one symbol. We're told, John 7:24, not to judge according to appearances, so let me compare all the rest of the data. 3 pyramids, and Mona means lady or queen of heaven. It's short for the word Madonna. So Mana and Madonna refers to the Madonna, the queen of heaven. Egypt, 3 pyramids for Egypt. These items here, these 3 here, form 888. So I keep on looking. In other words, my guess is, well, no, that's not a guess. Whoever is working here, who is leading this, has a spirit of Inanna with them, and they don't have the blood of the Lamb that has protected them. Here's more. Some background information on the 3/8. They even want to put this on the forehead. This spider matches the forehead right there. If you can see it, the chevron and 8 legs. This is from the movie The Wasp. And here is the use for the Roman Catholic Church, 888. And this is Madonna, or Donna, the Virgin Mary, 888, 3 octograms. I give things time and let our Father show to me the multiple signs and not just one thing. And right here is the octogram that has the number 8 is above the 3. I don't go by these small icons very often, but on occasions I will take a closer look, to see if there's other signs, to see the behavior of the spirit. I can discard this image, but I still have others that support what Yahweh's showing me. So it's not about one thing. Here's a book, The Lady of Heaven, and some background on who the Queen of Heaven is in the Bible is, and when we burned incense to the Queen of Heaven and poured out drink offerings to her, did we make her cakes to worship her and to pour out drink offerings to her without our men. Jeremiah 44 and chapter 7 also mentions the title Queen of Heaven. The brick of Ur to the left, it has the very name Queen of Heaven right here. It's called the sky, the Lady of the Sky. There's variations on the title, but it's the same thing. Queen of Heaven, the Lady of the Skies. Inanna, Mary, Isis, Sophia, female Holy Spirit, female deities, female energy work like Tantrayana. These are all coverings that we see the light and not Lucifer or the devil. It looks right, is covered in goodness and light and laughter, but it's wickedness within. Because that's what Lucifer does, is he's a covering with light. Here is a film, The Lady of Heaven. So on the left is the Lady of Heaven, the Egyptian title for Lady of Heaven, and then the Roman Catholics, they also use Lady of Heaven. And so that company Mona is in Israel, and it shows this spirit in the company, and Israel is going to make partnerships with Mona. But you'll see later on Elon Musk wants to partnership with Israel as well. Israel is completely surrounded by these spiders right here. That's what you're looking at. The number 8, the spider, the anti-Messiah, has Israel completely surrounded. And those that are in America, I pray that you open your eyes and see to come out of Trinity and the number 8, because that's Lucifer's stronghold, and you will be attacking Israel with alignment with Inanna. How else could it be? All the nations, the Bible says. And this is the God of the nations. That's why the mainstream does not have the data, because the mainstream is the majority and the majority rules. That's Yahweh's way of doing it. If the majority had data that all the body Messiah has collectively together, it would break the enemy, and the nations would be free. So praise our Maker for His mercy to show His grace to us, to deliver us from these things. Orion is the false shepherd of Anu.
And Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has embarked on his trip to the United States. The prevention of Iranian nuclear weaponization and advancement of a potential Israel-Saudi normalization deal are topping his agenda. During the visit, Netanyahu will address the UN General Assembly and will meet U.S. President Biden and other world leaders. Tonight, Netanyahu starts his U.S. visit in California, meeting at this hour with tycoon Elon Musk. More from ILTV's Steve Leibovitz.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has arrived in the U.S. for several days of meetings. Netanyahu first flew to California, where he is meeting this evening with Elon Musk, owner of Tesla, SpaceX, and the social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter. Netanyahu will also meet with other high-tech leaders for discussions on artificial intelligence technologies. Netanyahu's meeting with Musk will also reportedly include the subjects of judicial reform and anti-Semitism. Musk and the ADL have been feuding about online anti-Semitic content. Musk reportedly wants to use the Netanyahu meeting to stave off mounting criticism on the free speech issue. Netanyahu wants Musk to invest in Israeli AI and other high-tech.
אני מתכוון לפגוש שם איש שמוביל כרגע את ההתפתחות הדרמטית ביותר בטכנולוגיה האנושית בזמן החדש ואולי בכלל, את אילון מאסק. אני אדון איתו על נושא הבינה המלאכותית וגם אפעל כדי שישקיע במדינת ישראל בשנים הקרובות. האיש הזה במידה רבה מפלס את הדרך שתשנה את פני האנושות ותשנה גם את פני מדינת ישראל.
Netanyahu will later travel to New York. He's due to meet President Biden on Thursday on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly. During his stay in New York, Netanyahu will also meet Ukrainian President Zelensky, Turkish President Erdogan, and other world leaders. The Prime Minister will address the General Assembly on Friday and return to Israel on Sunday, just ahead of the Yom Kippur fast.
I want to show you this. Here are signs of the female black widow spider with this anchor person. A female leader, colors of the female black widow spider, the number 8, right here. This is very common. This is no coincidence. Yahweh showing the spirit to me, and there's other videos to watch on the black widow spider, the colors. This is globalism, and it's a spirit, and the woman, she is in trouble, and and needs to repent. This is how the enemy has control of the nations, to cause them to wear certain colors, to say certain words, and to perform certain actions that are against Yahweh. Here's the spider that crept in the church that will explain some symbols. This is what the nations is led by, and this is what the kings of the earth are making agreements with by the number 8. Signs follow after making a deal. This is just one example. Not every red handkerchief means the same thing. So I don't judge by just one handkerchief. I look a little closer, and our Father will lead me to show to me other signs. And most important, doctrine. The churches that teach the Trinity, many of them are showing the colors of the female black widow spider. So there I can compare the reports of our brothers that report on false teachings and false miracles. And then I can look and see they're Trinity believers, and then they show signs of the female black widow spider, and Yahweh is glorified, and I praise Him that He has protected me, and I can share this with the flock of Jesus, that they come out of Babylonian ways and to be set apart. That's the strength of our nation. If America wants to get stronger, and if Israel wants to get stronger, receive Messiah, and that's simple. That's the solution. Many are in danger without the blood of the Lamb. Thou shalt serve other gods, and that's what we're seeing right now. Israel, Inanna is in your nation and leading the nation.
I think that he is dealing with what I believe he thinks is the most tragic thing that's happened to Mother Russia. But think about what he has. He has 8 time zones.
He has 8 time zones. That's what he says. But Russia has 11 time zones. I really feel for Mr. Biden. He was lost in the garden, asking for his mother in the garden. Mother is a goddess symbol. The number 8 is also a goddess symbol. If Yah's willing, I'll make a file especially for him to support our leader, that he can learn to come out of the Babylonian ways, because Virgin Mary is not who he thinks she is. Virgin Mary is like this black widow spider. She's a narcissistic vampire. She thinks it's all about her. Me, me, me. It's all about her. She thinks that she's the door of salvation. She says that she's the one who crushed the head of the serpent. That you have to go through Mary to get to Jesus. The world makes an oath to Inanna by the number 8 in the house of Israel, which is the body of Messiah, not the state of Israel. The state of Israel needs to join the house of Israel. And we make an oath to Yahweh in 7s. So whether they know it or not, they're making deals with Inanna by the number 8. So when you see and hear people about using the number 8 a lot, it's because the spirit of the world and the spirit of the world is led by Inanna. Without the blood of the Lamb, this spirit will control us. The Matrix movie mentioned that they asked the question why hot dog buns come in packages of 8. I'm giving you the answer by the grace and mercy and the power of our Creator and not of my own thinking. He is the one who has done it. This is His help for us that we would see. Here the number 8 appears 3 times. There are 2 sides on the wings, like the cross, the Christian cross. There's 4, but there's 8 sides. The logo also too. There are 4 ends, and right here is a chevron. And the logo is the number 8 in the logo. Business partners that are not covered by the blood of the Lamb are showing these signs. They're led by Inanna. Tessa in Hebrew is the number 9. Tessa is 9. Yahweh has done it. He sent the Spirit. I don't see Mr. Musk as an evil person. Of course not. I've seen him speak. I've seen interviews with him. But the point is that without the deliverance, to be forgiven of our sins, and if you're not washed by the blood of the Lamb, the Father and the Son will not dwell with us and keep us safe. His brand uses the colors of spider. The name's in his logo. 88 was on his front page. And even right here, again. So this is the second time 888 appears. He changed this, of course, but this is an old image. And X is 8 and 3. So this is the spirit of the world that's led by Inanna. And this is how the spider comes into Israel, by partnerships. So everybody has a choice. But who would protect you from the spider but Yahweh's servants? Here is the X building. When Yahweh showed to me that the X is 8 and 3, my apartment complex had the fire alarm went off. The next day it was flashing. In the hallway we have these bright lights just like this. There's bright white light flashing. Everybody left the building, went out to the streets. And later that day, I was about an hour later, I was walking down the street and there was like 2 more apartments. I couldn't count how many, but I heard it on both sides. There were other apartments that were testing their alarm because they too also was funded by the government. And I have testimonies for later that if your business is a government-funded business and is government-related, Inanna is going to be the leader of that building or that business. Now, Spinoza Muslim believes in the God of Spinoza, he says. But there's 2 different ones. The Babylonian Bee right here, they did an interview with Musk. And if you look at his shirt has the same sign of the name of Inanna on his shirt, 8 and V, right there. So, this is what happens when you believe in the Trinity. You're going to have these signs and symbols and behavior. And the things you speak, the things that you do, is going to reflect it. And this guy, the Babylon Bee, was trying to convert Elon Musk. But Inanna, the Trinity, was his lead. There is another Spinoza Musk believes in the God of Spinoza, but one of them is a spider. And this is a spirit that's attached that I see, that Yahweh's revealed. This is his danger, not mine. So my suggestion is to pray and ask the Creator for his mercy to show and open the eyes. It is a spirit that's attached to our world. This man works very hard and he has intentions to help people, and I've seen it. But that does not keep me from sharing what Yahweh showed to me. Here is SpaceX, which is actually spy. SPY. Of course it is. That's why it's turned that way. The spy always gets the girl. There she is. The female black widow spider is a similitude of Inanna, and Inanna is a covering for Lucifer. The spider creeps in Israel and by partnerships, even by supporters who worship the Trinity. Lucifer is a red spider. This is a revelation that Yahweh gave to me when I seen the name of Nero. Here is his new name is Caesar Nero. And the birth name is a match to the spider. This is the power of Lucifer, the god of the world in the earth, ruling the Roman Empire. At the time of Messiah, their names reflected the God's religion, and it just their names reflect. You'll see some of us have been exposed to the Greek and Roman culture, have noticed how they use their names. Like Octavius refers to the number 8. So they're actually naming their kids in reflection of the god of this world, Lucifer, whose number is also 8. Lucifer the red spider. That's what this is showing to me. The birth name of Caesar Nero. The spirit of the world, as Yahweh shows to me, it all matches the spider. That's Yahweh's way of showing me his powers for any who believes, or to see that this is his work and his powers that will keep us free and to protect us. I looked at the Strong's Concordance number and seen that Yahweh reveals to me the enemy connects to number 8, and here's the order that he gave me. Yahweh is powerful. The spider is fat and shiny, and it's the number 8. And then he showed to me Shema. He says, here, when I seen that, I knew that Yahweh was speaking to me and confirming to me what I'd seen. Not only did I see the spider match the God's religion in Inanna, but many years later, he showed to me this to confirm that the God's religion is connected to the number 8, as well as the spider. SDY is Shamar Deltot Israel, the watchman of Israel. I'm not fluent in Hebrew. I'm just an American guy who learned a few things about the language, the alphabet, and so I learned that these 3 letters point to to our Creator as being the watchman of the doors of Israel. Shamar Deltot Israel, the watchman who never sleeps. And here I took the letter D and I turned it upside down, and he shows to me the word spy, because Yahweh is the one who does it all. He is a spy who sees it all, he knows it all, and does it all. Only he can keep us safe by receiving his Son. This is his way, and this is his plan. The spirit of the world uses the plus sign led by Inanna. This is also these are ways that the spider enters Israel through partnerships and through business by the number 8. Here's an example. these companies are not Christian companies. It is true that when one person does something, other people will follow, and they'll, how you say, jump on the bandwagon. Of course, they all join together without the Messiah, and so they're led by Inanna. This is the result. And this is our world, and the world will change its shape and form because of this. That's why it's getting dark now. And the spider comes out in the dark, not in the daytime. The plus is the number 8 in chevron. Both of these are primary God symbols. Here is a sane asylum. They have crosses on top of them, you see. Just as it was in the time of Tartaria in the old world, with the crosses, we see the same thing with business. Because the cross is the number 8. And when you have a cross here and below it the number 8, it shows the name and symbol of Inanna. It's a reference to Lucifer, because Lucifer is the god of the world. The church is not, I'm not going to speak on the church, there's way too much data to explain. The body Messiah does not have this here. Lucifer. It's attached to the church, the Christians. This here will show to you. I recommend watch both of these. Part 1, Part 2. Crosses on top of the buildings. You know, Jesus says that his kingdom is not of this world. And since the words are true, then we know that when people start building their kingdom like this here, like the New Apostolic Reformation, these evangelicals that want to make Seven Mountain Mandate, they want to build this world. That's not from our Savior. It's because we don't build, our kingdom is not of this world. But here shows Lucifer. It does not reflect the kingdom of Yahweh. Church and state, you see. If you've seen the other videos, you'll understand that we're seeing church and state join together because Inanna's name is right there, right here. Here is the name and symbol of Inanna, the cross in 3 layers. Many people are misled thinking these buildings are from the millennial reign of Christ, but Yahweh shows that the 8 and 3 is on countless buildings matching the name and symbol of Inanna. This shows Lucifer ruling and not Messiah. At the end of the file you'll see, well, let's wait till we get to that point. There's a lot to cover and to see. On the Pope, the video here, you'll see this video here on the Pope's crown will show more details about this particular church steeples. And I know that it does not reflect the kingdom of Yahweh, because on the left here is an image of a goddess Diana, and Diana was the main problem in the Bible, in the city of Ephesus. The silversmiths, you'll read, they were making idols to her. 8 on the top breast, just like the cross, because the cross is the number 8. That's why it's important for the churches not to put crosses on themselves, their churches, and to use it as an idol like that. And the number 3 right below it, 8 and 3. But see, the church, I can't speak for or say all of them, but the majority, I'll put it that way. The majority, they think that their thoughts are more important than Yahweh, that they are above Yahweh. They don't need to submit to Yahweh. So if he says not to have idols, they don't care. They can do what they want. But their judgment is coming soon. Well, I can't say soon, but their judgment is coming, because I read the book of Revelations chapter 2. That he says he's going to destroy them, so that all the world will know that he is Yahweh. So my suggestion is you to come out of this. Open your eyes to see and receive the mercy and love and kindness and compassion of our Maker, who has given us time to see. Here it is on the crown of the Pope. The Pope has no authority. I have authority because Yahshua gave it to me. He died for me. So my authority is in him and the work that he did. And the work he did has removed the authority from the crown of the Pope, which points to the goddess Inanna, which is a covering for Lucifer. The churches don't see this, don't know it, but Yahweh's showing it to you. And take this to your Catholic brothers that they may see. This here configuration is in the altar bread. It's on the cope of the Pope. The cope is called the cope, C-O-P-E. It's on the clothing that they wear. You'll see it on their back. Their church is full of Babylonian idols because they rejected the Creator and replaced him with the golden calf. The world does not love and worship Yahweh and his Messiah. The world worships Lucifer. 888. I don't know their motives, their intentions, but I do know the signs that Yahweh showed to me, especially in the old world Tartaria, with all the crosses on all the buildings. It celebrates Lucifer and not Jesus Christ of Nazareth, Yeshua Messiah. Lucifer is from the root meaning to make a show. The blood of the Lamb has removed her authority, blotting out the handwriting of ordinances that was against us, which was contrary to us, and took it out of the way, nailing it to the cross. In having spoiled principalities and powers, he made a show of them, openly triumphant over them. When I spoke of authority earlier, this is an example. I have none of my own, but it's by the death and burial and the resurrection of Yeshua our Messiah, and what he did on the cross has opened my eyes to see. To see what he delivered me from. He delivered me from Lucifer. And so now I do not fear the second death. They have no power over us. Our church steeples are not innocent because the enemy crept in. The spider crept into the church. See the playlist for others. I believe in your Elohim, Yahweh of armies, and not a Trinity. I will not execute my fierceness and my anger. I will not again destroy Ephraim, for I am God and not a man. You see here, I am God and not a man. The Holy One in your midst, and I will not come with terror. For there's one Elohim and one mediator between Elohim and man, the man, Messiah Yeshua. Here is a church in Jerusalem. And I want you to see these three doorways. There's 2, 3 right here. 3 is right below the cross. There is the cross and 3. This is how these buildings are put together, that they will show the sign of Lucifer. I first seen this in my Tibetan Buddhism symbol, because this is the symbol of the path that I was on. And you have the octagram here, and right below it you'll see 3. I didn't get that right. Well, I don't have a bigger image. There are 3 at the top, and 3 to the left, and 3 to the right, and 3 to the bottom. This shows to me 8 and 3 right here. The same thing here at the church. I want to say again about the Trinitarian ministries that are coming to Israel. They're making deals with Israel and has a spirit with them. Female pastors, female leaders, they have the colors all over the world. This is globalism. This is the mind. It's not the mind of Messiah, because they show the Trinity leaders, their prophecies failed. They're full of tricks. They're pulling legs. They're making people eat grass. They're spitting on people. They're playing naked cowboy in the church, and they're doing all kinds of blasphemies, and they're all under Trinity, because Inanna is a goddess of love and pleasure, drugs, meth, all that's from her, and it's in your churches, and it's trying to come into Israel and cause Israel to follow Inanna and not Yahweh. You people out there that's in Israel, I have one thing to say to you: put your ice cream sandwich down and go help them. Get off your tour and spread the words that you're seeing here, and hear Yahweh's messengers, because that's your support. You're out there on the front lines, and you have people out here in the trees, hiding up in the trees, looking and seeing, and they give you a report. You better listen to them. Listen to your messengers that are out there in the field. Because your job is not to see. Your job is to proclaim the message. But if there's something danger that's coming to Israel, you sound the alarm and listen to the messengers that are trying to warn you. Because the times are coming ahead when the enemies will try to knock off all the messengers, but Yahweh will keep them and preserve them, because He loves Israel and He wants to warn Israel and deliver those who are in Israel from what you're looking at right now, the Trinity God of the nations. She's in politics, and she's playing all sides. We need King Jesus, Yeshua, not Inanna, the Queen of Heaven, to rule over us. That's what we're all waiting on. But in the meantime, save as many people as you can. What you thought was church is not church. It's a temple of Inanna. And they're all over the world. Look at there, right next to our leaders. Here's another leader. All the leaders all around the world, right next to him. How many images do you need to see? In politics and government, in religion and commerce. The Fellowship of Israel Ministries, many of their partners show the same thing with the Crusaders, the cross and shield. The cross and shield is the name of a symbol of Inanna. Because the Knights Templars, they thought they loved and feared Mary, Virgin Mary. It was not Virgin Mary, it was Inanna, and Inanna is a covering for Lucifer. The whole army was led by Lucifer against Israel and the nations. Here it is again, and they're covered up with light and goodness. They are not for you. And they want to take Jesus and compare Jesus to an octagram. The last time I checked, He was the Lord of the Sabbath, which is the 7th day, not the 8th day. The last time I checked, Inanna is the number 8, not Jesus. The arrows point to number 8. You can look at this a little bit closer later. This here, 2, 4, 6, 8. So it's 8 right here in the middle, and on the outside is 8. The Trinity wants to keep Messiah under the number 8, replacing the 7. Like right here. This is where Jesus was born, and they put the octograms on top of it to replace him. The Church of Nativity is what it's called, where Jesus was born. And it's covered by the name and symbol of Inanna. There are 3 of them. Octograms, hourglass, and the Egyptian wick. Right here. The Egyptian wick is the letter H, but it's also symbolic of the number 8. The octograms, hourglasses. This was the Roman Empire. This is the world empire. The Trinity goddess, religion of the nations, has replaced Yeshua Messiah, the 7th stone of the Star of David, the foundation stone with the number 8 octograms. Jesus being connected to the number 8 or 88, and the dinger. Here's an example of John Hagee, who supports Israel financially. He has the 88 right here. This is more closer to the dinger. There's 2 8s right here. And this is from his webpage called Who We Are, his About page. Here he has the Trinity with 8 and 3. This right here is the 8 and 3. This here shows me Inanna right there. Just like the Knights Templar, the cross and shield, same thing. Whether you know it or not, but Yahweh has revealed it. And this cross looks like it's upside down. So if you if you read this video and you have comments, you can comment on this and let me know, did I make a mistake? Because it does look like it's upside down. Because this cross right here has a very small part right there. But here is quite large. You see, the enemy the spirit will hide right in plain sight and be mocking us and laughing in our face. Here's a cosmic battle, 8 and 7. It's not about a star, it's about the number, it's about alignment to Yahweh or alignment to Inanna, one or the other. The world puts Jesus in the center, where Inanna is, and rules even by the number 8. There are 6 steps to the throne. The king is the 7th. 1 Kings 10:19. The spider has 8 legs. Here is a reference. There's many references. If you do your homework, you'll see that that Sunday was chosen because of the number 8. My Jesus is Yeshua and does not have 8 legs, but is called Lord of the Sabbath, the 7th day. Saba in Hebrew is oath. If you look up the word oath, O-A-T-H, oath, it means to seven oneself. So like Daniel made a covenant with Yahweh and he bowed to our Maker 7 times. And as did Daniel, or King David as well. We do things in 7s. There's 7 feasts, not 8. The wheel of the year for the neo-pagans that serve Inanna, they have 8 feasts, not 7. Messiah is the 7th, but the world's religions place him with the number 8, and that's in sync with Inanna. The spider belongs on the outside of Israel. 8 is too fat to fit into the Star of David. That is 7. You see, the spider is fat, that is excess, because it's Babylon, the number 8. The wide gate is on the outside. You can read Revelation 17:18 to learn more, and you'll see the description of Babylon is rich, fat, luxurious, plentiful, like the spider. The world and its goddess is 8. I have nothing evil to say about the Star of David, of course not, because the Star of David is the number 7 in geometrical form. Because here in the center is 7. There are 6 points, and the Messiah is right here in the 7th. But your enemy, the enemy of Israel, if they want to, they can use the Star of David to communicate the chevron, upside down chevron, or the 2 hourglasses. See more in the Spider and Politics video. That's not done yet, but that's where I will put this information about the two spiders, the two daughters. Is from Proverbs 30:15. Here is an example of how it's used in churches. This is in a Catholic church. Now look at here. These are old Tartarian idol symbols right here, patterns you'll see. But the point is that this environment is a Roman Catholic environment because the spirit of anti-Messiah has saturated that church. And this spirit, like this here drag queen, is in church now, and they chose this environment to perform their duties because of these idols are in the environment. Here's some idols. The double hourglass. The Panagia Virgin Mary uses Oran's the preposition, like tonight. This is from a video game, the double hourglass. You'll see. There are other symbols here that I can read that have Inanna on it. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual places and wickedness of high places. I actually don't wrestle with nothing no more. At one time, I wrestled with Yahweh, and I went to war with Yahweh, and I lost. And so I don't wrestle no more, because I trust Him enough that He will take care of me, and He will perform war against anything that tries to hurt me, because He is my protector. And this is what He wants from every one of us, is to have complete trust in Him, and then you won't wrestle no more. And you won't have to go out to the store and buy a bunch of books on spiritual warfare. Now, if you're a new believer, you'll need the help that you get. But my suggestion is to not put the thoughts of man above the thoughts of Yahweh. So forget your commentaries and forget your books and just go straight to the source and do the best you can to try to hear what our Creator is teaching you, and not get your head full of a bunch of opinions of man. Because the majority is ruled by the Trinity, which is Inanna, a spirit that's against Yahweh, and they just want your money, and they want to destroy our nation. And that's what I'm showing in Israel. The same spirit is in Israel. Here's our 45th or 75th anniversary, and look what they had going on. Butterfly ears on top of a man. Anthropologist Maria Gambutas, she mentions that the butterfly is a God's symbol. The spirit uses natural environment to hide. The butterfly has natural shape of both hourglass and the letter M. Both are used by God's religion of the globalists and the nations. Yahweh has revealed that the letter M is secretly the name of Inanna. It shows 8 in V. Here, it was so important that they put that in the Mission Impossible movie. It's in a lot of different movies. Spider-Man, he was on the M train. Dan Brown, in one of his movies, it shows the letter M. Many references, many films do this. They had to show Lucifer love, is what I'm thinking, to show their alignment. Because the filmmakers are performing all kinds of wickedness. And they're like a false prophet. That's my best description of filmmaking, is that they are a false prophet. because it's just amazing. Once I'll explain more when I get to the film file. I went to film school for a short time, and I had a chance to see and to learn a little bit on how things are done in filmmaking. But it's the Spirit of Yahweh that shows me the dangers that are involved in that industry. And I'm not alone either, because others are seeing what's going on in films. Right now, the films are teaching people about how to be lawlessness, to be lawless. If you watch Expendables the Expendables number 4, you'll see that they're chopping up bodies. There's no limits. They're getting close-up shots, and they're just literally chopping up bodies, and their body parts are falling out everywhere, and it's disgusting. And it should be not a R-rated movie. It should be an X movie, because they're teaching people to have no boundaries, to be lawless. That's the same spirit that's behind artificial intelligence. It has no limits, no boundaries. And this is what Joe Biden is teaching as well with the Mexico border, United States. This is the same thing you see in Tartaria. In all those bills you see, they're showing no boundaries. There's no limits. They're trying to show and set themselves up to become stronger than mankind, that they are superior than us. There's no limits. And that's what they're teaching in films. Because of him, the Father has shared great things, and his powers are known, feared, and trusted. The female black widow spider is a plumb line, and you are seeing it match many things in the world. Yahweh alone has done it. I form the light, and I create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. Isaiah 45:7. When you get to the point and you believe that's true, you'll be set free. We're set free when our Savior, when he died for us and we receive him, but we go through stages in life where we become freer and freer and freer, like the onion skin, like the teachings of the onion. You peel the onion layer by layer. Same thing for the sovereignty. When you see the sovereignty of Yahweh, and you have your trust in him, and you know for sure that he is the one who does it, you will be free. Like a narcissistic vampire with all the kings of the earth. It's not a person, it's a spirit. Right in the middle. It stands out. To us it's natural, but to Yahweh he shows that he is using it. He's using the natural things to communicate to us. Here are some verses that show about the spider. In Isaiah 47, she says, I am, and there is none beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment of the day, the loss of children and widowhood. Now read Revelation chapter 2 and see what Yahweh says about the loss of children. He's going to destroy them. This is my understanding. I don't have this is my understanding. Read this for later, but I want you to have this and to see Isaiah 47. This was in Israel, The Handmaid's Tale, 2017. Is 8 NV. This is still the same communications here of the chevron, upside down or not. How you look, it's the same spirit behind this. This here almost created the 8 and 3 as well. I've seen that on top. The spirit is very clever, and it's mocking and laughing right in our face. So this was going on in Israel, the protest. Look at there, a whole line of people. It's the spirit of the anti-Messiah. The mystery of lawlessness is seen here in excess that Yahweh does not like. Revelation 17:18, Babylon is fat, shiny, rich, plentiful, luxury, and excess. Yahweh has corrected me and got on to me about excessiveness, and that's what helps me to see and identify the spirit of the anti-Messiah. Right now, the people is all around the world is protesting. They're trying to take sides with Palestine and protest. No, they're not. They are not protesting. They are being led by Lucifer. They are being led by the anti-Messiah to put them out in the streets and to create this image of excessiveness. Just like you're looking right here. Excessiveness. It's just unbelievable. But that's the spirit, you see? Rising up against something is not going to work because you can't use your own flesh to do it. You got to stand with Yahweh and receive His Son. Because His Son is not going to put us out there in the middle streets and to do these things like this. It's not a feminist movement. I want you to observe the word feminine, F-E, and the word 9 are in there. This is the sovereignty of Yahweh. Fe is iron on the periodic table. Iron is also a symbol of captivity of Egypt. Right here you'll see Lucifer is captivity. Egypt is captivity. The color red. The number 9 is Tet, the serpent. So the word feminine, like a feminine movement, is going to put you in captivity under Lucifer, the serpent. The feminine movement has nothing to do with the Torah and the scriptures. It's not the way of Yahweh, it's the way of the world. And I think they want to practice their Luciferian religion in the holy city of Jerusalem. And look at the man here, he's got a pink purse. So he is a feminist, I'm guessing just by, he's got the purse. It could be his girlfriend's purse, you know. But that's how the world does things, you know. Because you want to support the women, and there's nothing wrong with supporting the women, but you can support the women by being a strong man and helping them with what the Bible teaches us on how to parent and how to lead. Especially the churches, you know, churches got female preachers in there. That's a big mistake. That was a downfall of America right there. That's what did it. One of the things that I see is the female pastors goes completely against Yahweh's word. Because the church, they don't care what Yahweh says. They want to do it on their own. The church is in big trouble. Jerusalem is not our mother, the God of this world. But Jerusalem, which is free, which above is free, is the mother of us all. So when did you get the new logo? Moses said not to go too far to the left, not too far to the right. And that's where Inanna sits, on the far side. But Yahweh shows her in everything in this world. So when there's power shifts, like, for example, when Donald Trump was in office, and everything was fine, and then I noticed that the Democrats started, the activity was different, you know. I'll give you an example. The protests were in the streets of Israel. And then Joe Biden, when he's president, he speaks up and he says he doesn't agree with Israel, and there's complaints, and it's the same spirit. So when you see in politics, you'll see the power shift. And when you see the power shift in one country, one nation, you'll see the same thing in other nations. And that's where I think this here logo came in. Is that there's a power shift, but our friend Netanyahu has no kippah. He's secular Jewish, and he's prayed for a lot. I know he is, because Israel is a light to the nations, but he needs to receive Messiah. and trust our Creator Yahweh that He sent His Messiah. How else would I have these reports? How else does the body of the Messiah have all these reports, the testimonies that we've heard? Yahweh does it, and Israel needs their Messiah. This also is in Israel. The replacement Messiah is coming to Israel to trick you to idolatry, because Lucifer would love for Israel to hang itself. These are Americans, evangelicals that are dressed up like Jews, and they're not Jewish. So there is your synagogue of Satan right there. You see? I'm looking at the synagogue of Satan. They say they're Jews, but they're not. That will be your evangelicals, because Romans 2:28 and 2:29, it says, a true Jew is one who is changed on the inside and not the outside, who seeks praise of our Father and not of men. That's a true Jew right there. Romans 2:28, 2:29. So these missionaries are coming to Israel to convert you, Israel, to follow the Trinity and not Yahweh.
The police here, 99% conviction rate. Shut up. We don't do anything illegal. You cannot take us to jail. If you are not involved, please go. Shalom, my friend. We bless you. You're my country. You come to the United States, you can say whatever you want to say. That is a free world, yes? You're not in the United States. You're in Israel. I understand. You can say whatever you want to say. Yes, you can. It's illegal. It is illegal to preach about Yeshua. We preach at Damascus Gate. The police said it's okay. We preach at Jaffa Gate. The police said it's okay. Please stop. I respect you. Respect me. We're not respect you. Huh? We're not respect you. That is the right thing. Are you Jewish? Do you want to honor God? That is the godly thing to do. We respect one another. The godly thing to do. The godly thing is to kill you. That's right. Yes? The Torah says. The Torah says to kill us. The Torah says that people who worship idols such as yourself, when there is a Sanhedrin, to kill us. Yes. Okay. That's what the Torah says. So we know how the Jewish people feel about Christians, yes? That you discriminate against Christians. Christians are idol worshippers. You discriminate against Christians. The Torah says that Christianity is idol worship.
That's what he said. But you see, the enemy is playing both sides. The spire is attached to the faith. That's why Yeshua says, come out of her. Another Jesus is Inanna, the Trinity God of Babylon. You see, there are different opinions about our faith. Not everybody believes in the Trinity. And so, if you believe in the Trinity and you say you're a Christian, well, my view is different, and your view is different. If I don't believe in the Trinity, your view is different. Matter of fact, your view of Trinity is the same as the Roman Catholic Church, because the Roman Catholic Church teaches that if you don't believe in the Trinity, you're going to go to hell. That's what the Roman Catholic Church teaches. They also teach Sunday worship, and so here are the two signs that show that you are agreeing with the Roman Catholic Church and the Pope. I have no boast at all. It's our Creator showed me mercy, and I worship the true Elohim, and His name is Yahweh of armies, who sent His Son, and I believed in Him, and I trusted Him, and what He's shown to me has not changed. In 1997 is when He delivered me, and He did not lead me to the Trinity. He did just the opposite. He used my Tibetan Buddhist testimony to expose the Trinity of all the nations and all the religions. He called me out of Trinity. via Tibetan Buddhism and protected me since '97 until now from the Trinity, that I do not commit adultery and worship Jesus as my God, or pray to and worship a feminine Holy Spirit, or am I led by a female pastor wearing colors of the spider. That's the church of this world that Lucifer has influenced this world to worship and to do. What you see in the church does not reflect the kingdom of Yahweh. It reflects the spider. That spirit was in Tibetan Buddhism and Tantrayana, and it's in the church, and it's in the worldly Babylon religions, because they have one mind. My Christian brothers, I have no doubts about their love for our Savior, for Jesus. I have no doubts, of their intentions and motives, and I don't question that. But the leadership though, are just blind, very blind. Because when I read that Bible, I pick up that Bible, there is nothing in there to teach me about no Trinity until mankind comes around to tamper with it and to show and to force these false teachings on the world, to keep the world in bondage. Yahweh told me who He is. Shema Israel, Yahweh Avinu, Yahweh Echad. He said He is one. They asked Jesus, "Teacher, what is the greatest commandment?" He pointed right there to the Torah, because in Isaiah 8:20 says, "If they do not speak according to this word, there is no light in them." What word do you think He's talking about? The New Testament? The New Testament wasn't written at that time. The scriptures they had was the Old Testament, the Tanakh, the Torah. That was their scriptures, the Torah, the laws of Moses, and the writings of the prophets, and that's their foundation. And if we teach something that's outside, that's not according to that, there's no light in them. When I'm talking about this spider, I'm pointing to Isaiah 47, and there it is. It's according to that, to the word that's written. And, of course, testimony, revelations, and so forth. But the foundation is the laws of Moses, the 5 books of the Torah, the Tanakh, and the writings of the prophets. And that's the same thing that all the apostles of the New Testament, they taught the same thing. That our foundation, they pointed to the Old Testament. They didn't make nothing up. He also said that I am Elohim and not a man, Hosea 11:9. And Numbers 23:19 is the same thing. He said He's not a son of man. And that's a title that's used by Messiah Yeshua. For there's one Elohim and one mediator between Elohim and man, the man, Yeshua, Messiah Yeshua. I want to tell the one who's listening that Yahweh can do anything that He wants. If He wants to make Jesus to become God, and if He wants He can do anything. He can do anything He wants. I do not doubt any of His power. I've seen His power. It's very terrifying, His power, what He can do. But what is written is what we live by. Isaiah 55:7-11. He says, "My thoughts are higher than your thoughts. My ways are higher than your ways." But the church, for some reason, they think that their thoughts are higher than the ways of Yahweh. Because Yahweh, His thoughts, He already shared to us and has told us in the scriptures who He is. He's defined who He is from the beginning of the book. He showed us all the way through the whole scriptures. And He does not lie, and He does not confuse us or mislead us. And when He says His thoughts are higher than our thoughts, that means that what He wrote in that book is more important than our imaginations and what people tell us, that the Trinity is just a mystery, and that it's not from our Creator, and it's up to you to see that and to trust what He is showing us. The world is in agreement with the Roman Catholic Church. but not all, of course. There are some that are protesting the Trinity. It's not just to say that Christians are idolaters, just as it's not to say that all Jewish rabbis are Luciferian Kabbalists. So that video where the guy says that all Christians are idolatries, and that's not fair and that's not just. Because the whole world is under the influence of Lucifer. And it's only by the mercy of our Creator that He will open our eyes to see. The spirit of the anti-Messiah is mixed in with everything in our world. If you play a video game, you'll see Lucifer in that video game. You watch a movie, anything in the media. The word media means to be in the middle. And that's where the enemy is at, in the middle. Because to get to Yahweh, we have the Messiah, Yeshua. He is the mediator in the middle. But the world has replaced him with Lucifer. So now Lucifer is our contact through the media and not the Messiah. The Jewish people are turning Americans against Israel, if you'll see right here. Jewish space lasers. You see, that's not love right there. The love of Yahweh would not do that book. I'm telling you now, I know my Creator, I know my Maker, and the love of Yahweh would not, you would not write that book with that title, especially after the problems with Maui, Hawaii. Whoever's doing this is turning the people against Israel. Here's another one. Look at this. The 8 is pointing to the chevron. 8 and V. These are the things that are in Israel, and I want your eyes to be opened and to see that this is the spirit of the anti-Messiah, and you can trust that Yahweh sent His Son, because it's by Him and only through His power of His resurrection that I'm able to see these things. And they got 3 stars. What's common is to see 8 and V together with 888. If you look through the data in the channel, you'll see that this is very common, that the 3 8s are together with the 8 and V. My first example would be to look at the Panagia. I don't care what Panagia it is. The Panagia, Virgin Mary, every one of them will show the 888. In the top right corner is the theta with the Y, which shows 8 and V. Here is 8. The cube is 8 and 3 bars. You see the spirit in films, and does not matter where, it wants to show, because see, Lucifer is like a narcissistic vampire. It wants to show itself to us right there. And he teaches the Trinity. And this guy here, he says that you shouldn't be partnering with Messianics. You see, that's a result of the Trinity in the United States. That America is misled by Lucifer, and so now they go to Israel, and they want to take to Israel a foreign god, and now it's causing problems for everybody. That's just terrible. Because the mainstream does not represent Messiah. The mainstream represents Lucifer.
So many Israeli casualties from the massacre at that music festival. More than 260 bodies recovered from the scene. We're hearing from witnesses. Ian Panel is on the scene in Sderot, Israel. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, George. We're actually only a couple of miles away from the Gaza border, and when that infiltration, that large-scale attack happened, Hamas militants came right into the center of this town. We saw wild videos of them opening fire on civilians. Dozens were killed, and this was the police station. It was overrun by militants, the scene of a pitched battle. Many people died, but as you say, the single worst incident of this entire attack was at a party just a few miles away.
This morning, a music festival in Israel packed with hundreds of young people, ending in carnage.
Buddhism is an octagram religion. The fat spider has 8 legs. I recognize this because I was a Tibetan Buddhist for many years. And there's a double dorje. The double dorje is used by the Roman Catholics. You'll see the double cross. Nancy Pelosi, she uses that on her clothes I've seen before. It does not matter who you are. If you're a Catholic, you know that you often wear the 2 crosses. The 2 crosses together is a double dorje, the same as the Iron Cross used by the Nazi Germany. And it's the spirit of the anti-Messiah, and here it is with the Buddha. The double dorje, right there and here. It's also the number 8. This here would show 8 and 8, 88. But the thing is that there were people who went to the festival, and may Yahweh bless their souls. You know, when Israel is successful, we should praise and be joyful, and when they suffer, we should mourn with them if we support them. But somebody was tricked at that festival. A whole bunch of people went there to hang out together with friends, and they had an idol right there in the middle of it. Because the spirit of the world, as I say, is led by Inanna. It's the worldly thing to do to put a Buddha there. Because, you know, there's no rules. There's no limits. Do what you want. That's what the Greco-Roman culture taught the world, that you can do anything you want, no limits, because art has no limits. There's no rules. But with Yahweh, our Creator, who has set us free through His Son, wants us to be submissive to Him and to recognize that we have boundaries. And when you cross the boundaries, you die. I'm sorry, you die when you cross boundaries. If I go more than 3 days without water and I cross those boundaries, I'm going to die. So I want to suggest to those who are in Israel to guard each other from idols. Because you know, if you're in Israel and you have your Torah, it's your faith that I learned about. Idolatry is one thing that our Creator does not like, and I've seen what He's done because of idolatry. He wants the people of Israel to repent from idolatry and to receive His Son and to be at peace. To receive the Prince of Peace. Here is your double dorje. It's in the crop circles now. So the crop circles are matching the church and Buddhism and Hinduism and the Nazi Germany. The entire world is under this power and this influence. All these wars that we see, they're destroying evidence that Lucifer is ruling so that you won't believe in anything. They want to reset the world so that you'll believe in their new version of whatever their plans are, you know, to follow Lucifer and to forget Israel, to forget the God of Israel, Yahweh our Creator, and to fashion another God. I want to suggest you look around those Tatarian images on the internet, and this 8 and 3 of the spire that I'm showing to you you're going to see that in all these buildings. And I pray that they'll open your eyes to see the power of Lucifer, the God of the world, because Jesus Christ, He says that this kingdom is not, He's not of this world. This world is not His kingdom. Not in the material sense. So when people start to build this world They're building it in vain, like the seven mountain mandate. Here's an example how Yahweh's judgments have came 2 times where the name of Inanna was placed. One was at in Turkey. 40,000 people were killed in the earthquake. And look at the picture there. What do you see in that earthquake? 8 and V, right there. The cross is the number 8, and the chevron right here. You can turn it to the side a little bit to try to, you know, not draw attention to it. That's 8 and V. There's no doubts about that. And this club down here at the bottom, Club Q, it also shows 8 and V. And that has the name of Inanna on that. And they were transgender, and you see that the transgender symbol is actually 8 and V as well. So 2 times the judgment of Yahweh came that I've seen so far, and if I see more, I'm going to add that to the list. Well, I did see one in Gaza. That's at the end of the file. The name of Inanna was in Gaza, and Gaza was attacked. And I'll show you. This here symbol Yahweh showed to me at the COVID-19 virus. And here is what he showed to me. He says, "You are a widow," says Yahweh. And he was speaking, I can't say all that he was speaking because our Creator is, that's just not possible. But it's, what little he showed to me was the Trinity religion is the goddess religion of the nations, of the Luciferians, of the globalists that worship the goddess religion, including the Freemasons and the secret societies. They all have a widow that they are following. And that's the clothing that they wear. The globalist that's in the politics and religion, it's in the courtrooms and in our governments. And they're all aligned to this. My mother, the female serpent goddess, is the black widow right there. Mu Delta Omicron right there. This is the words of Yahweh, and this is his certainty. And this is the first time I mention it. I want, if I can, I'll make another file and to have a little bit more details, because I refer this to, or he refers this to, as COVID-19 goddess. You were all wearing a mask on your face, all of us, every one of us, because the mask is connected to Isis, who veils herself. Yahweh has spoken this right here, and that was on this Club Q right there. He showed this right here, picture, the words of the serpent goddess right there. And then months later, about a year later, he gives me an example of what he's talking about. So I was like, you know, what, I was trying to understand. He says to me, "You are a widow." I'm like, okay. I got bit by a black widow back in 2004, and he's been revealing to me many things since that time. But what do you mean, Yahweh? What do you mean you are a widow? First of all, he showed to me that I am a widow. Because the way I was living in the past, doing drugs and wicked things, you know, he spoke to me first so that I would know what he's talking about. But he removed that wickedness from me by showing me mercy and showing me grace, and to show to me that even though I got saved back in 97 and I went through all these troubles until now, that I trusted him, that eventually, if I hold on, he will deliver me and set me completely free. And I will never be a widow no more. Read Isaiah 54. That's the future. That you will not be a widow no more. You trust in him, you make a covenant with Yahweh and receive his son, he will keep you and protect you, that you will know him and trust in his power. I had a dream about this one right here before I seen it. It's unbelievable. But these are the things that come into Israel. This right here, the spider right there, the black widow, is headed toward Israel. Anti-Messiah is absurd. You see all those crazy buildings in Tartaria? That's absurd. You see people transgender with big hair, drag queens, their hair is about 10 foot big. See the other videos I have on the spider that crept into the church, and you'll see that the anti-Messiah is absurd. The kingdom of Yahweh is to have modesty, not to be absurd. Do not do as a Nazione. That's Italian word for nations. The nations are Nazi. People are complaining and they have a lot of fear. They don't know what the Nazis are. They want to point the fingers at everybody. What they need to do is go into the mirror and look into the mirror and ask yourself, do you know Yahweh, your creator? Do you know him? If you do not know him by his son, Yeshua, the Messiah, Jesus Christ, you are a Nazi. And you will take on the appearance, the behavior, and you will be like it. You'll be a Nazi, guarantee it, because you will do as the nations do. Look right here, Netanyahu and his wife next to him. They are doing what the nations do. They dress these colors and represent Inanna, the goddess of the nations. Do not do as the nations do. This is what Yahweh shows me. I have no fear of making mistakes because that's how much I trust Yahweh, our Maker. I have no fear that I'm going to be an accuser of the brethren because I trust Yahweh. I have no fear of making mistakes because he says, I override all communications. So don't fear nothing but Yahweh. When you speak, whatever you do, you don't have fear. You trust him that he will make it right if you make a mistake. And here her name is seen in the logo of your government. But hold on, Israel, it's a spirit, and Yahweh does it all. By the blood of the Lamb, he shares these great and powerful matters with me, that you be made strong, and you trust in him, and your trust in him increase. That's what he wants, is your trust. My testimony is that by the blood of the Lamb has removed her power, her authority over me and the nations. And now Yahweh is my shelter. What do you think that it took for Moses and all the great people in the Bible to perform their miracles? He had his staff, and he put his staff up in the air, and the water separated. What do you think it took for that? Trust. He had to have complete trust in Yahweh our Creator before any miracle came from him. You have to trust him that he will perform it, even at the verge of death. I was lost in a volcano. I have a testimony video. It's a short 20-minute video, I guess. And I was lost in the volcano. What am I going to do? I'm a fugitive in Mexico, number one, and I was fearful of being there illegally, running from the cops or whatever. and so now I'm lost in the volcano, but I trusted him, and he helped me to he helped me to find my way. I have more testimonies. I'm excited to get them together, to give you examples on trusting our Creator. And without, you are a widow, says Yahweh. Here's the image I want to show you in Gaza. This is one picture from the 18th century. This is the Great Mosque of Gaza. 1, 2, 3, right there. And on the top is an octagram. There is the name of Inanna, and Inanna is a covering for Lucifer. And look at this right here is an idol in Gaza, Israel. And it got destroyed all around it. Let's take a closer look. This is an octagram, and see the 3 windows? 1, 2, 3. There's 3 windows, 3 layers. There's no question at all. Now look at the Pope's crown right there, and look at the church steeple right there. The same thing. there's reports in Israel that they had destroyed 7 of them. This is the great mosque of Gaza. So my suggestion is, if you have these idols anywhere around you, inside your house, in your car, in your life, around your neck, in your city, get rid of it. Because Yahweh is going to target you. I can't see it no other way. He didn't tell me that, but I'm telling you, I just showed to you 2 witnesses where the name of Inanna was, and Yahweh judged. He performed judgments. 40,000 people died in Turkey in the earthquake, and then 5 people at the ák-bawr, and now in Gaza. And I've already spoken this before about judgments, that this is expected to come. The city I'm in is full of these idols right here. Why? Because the Roman Catholic Church, they brought them with them when they came to the United States. The Jesuits brought them with them. But the Jesuits are not to blame, because the same spirit is in Buddhism and Hinduism, Jainism and Zoroastrianism and Islam as well. The entire world is at the mercy of Yahweh, because this spirit cares nothing about you. It cares nothing about your religion or about your race. It's not going to take sides or be favorable to nobody. So we can't point the finger at the Jesuits or the Roman Catholic Church or the Baptist Church or the Buddhists or the Muslims. No, we have to help each other. We don't come together to worship Inanna. We can come together in agreement that Yahweh sent His Son, and His Son is the only thing that's going to save this planet from being destroyed. I have the data, the evidence, and it's right in front of you. Your enemy has 8 legs and a chevron and the number 3. This is 8 and 3. These are the powers of Yahweh. Praise Him, and you see His works, and He will make you strong. Ephesians 6:10. The name of your number 1 enemy is in all the world. It is a spirit mixed in with us. When the Bible talked about not mixing fabric, not mix the milk with the goat meat, the mixture was an important issue He taught us in the Torah. And when we get to Revelations, we have the same theme, that our Creator doesn't want mixture. He wants division and separation. And this is what is going to happen when Messiah comes, to separate the sheep from the goat, to separate 7 from 8, left from right, blue from red. Iron does not mix with clay, and clay is actually blue, and iron is actually red. So here is some prophetic ambiguity about the mixture together, because you take blue and red and you put them together, it's a color purple, which is a Babylonian color. And blue is for boys and red is for girls, so don't mix them together. You don't mix boys and girls together to create an androgynous person or being. That's Luciferianism. And speaking on that, if you look at there's a book by an author named Davis called The First Sex. She says that men is a mutation of women. That's her belief. But when I watched the Jurassic Park movie, the new one, I've seen the same spirit and the same message in Jurassic Park. That the globalist would love to get rid of people and to create their own version of human beings. Do not fear them. This is the handiwork of Yahweh. Our testimony the body of Messiah has for others is that we can count on Yahweh to deliver us. Number 1, He's done it in the past for thousands of years, and He still will continue to do it. And only by Him will you be safe. The third temple of Jerusalem, the spider has got her eye on the third temple of Jerusalem, on the lamp of Queen Helena. The images are by the Temple Institute. These items that refer to Inanna, Number 1, the octagram on the floor pattern with 8-pointed star. The lamp of Queen Helena, the design shows 8 and 3. Yahweh gives me the 2 items. That way I see and know that He does it. Here's a floor plan for the temple of Jerusalem, the 3rd temple. And I recently seen this also in Indiana Jones, the movie. The filmmakers are trying to teach us how to worship their God, or their goddess, Inanna. There are 3 characteristics of the black widow spider. It's fear, control, and manipulation. And that's the spirit of this world is led by Inanna. So don't be fearful of these things. Just because we know better, the body Messiah knows better to be manipulated by these things. So the Indiana Jones film shows a star. I showed it earlier on that giant from Tartaria, the goddess, with Inanna on it. All the world, the Dinger and Inanna are symbolized by the 8-pointed star, the star of the gods. But the world wants to accuse Israel, Star of David, as being the star of the Bible spoke about of Shemash, I believe, Shemash. That the Israelites had worshipped this particular star. But the star represents the throne of David, because there are 6 steps to the throne, and the king is the 7th, and that's what the star of David represents. Each to his own. It's on the shield of Pope Francis. It's on the YHWH emblem. Here I showed you the giant from Tartaria, 8-pointed star as well. There's plenty of data for you to see in the world, and only Yahweh can open your eyes to see. Here is the lamp in front of the temple of Israel, the illustration. That's where it goes. Here is a drawing of the lamp. Here is the design. I'll show you 8 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 8 and V, the chevron at the bottom. This is consistent with the spirit that Yahweh shown to me in thousands of images. Over the past couple of years, this is what He's shown. And the YouTube channel has several videos to see. Particularly the title is called 8 and V. The spider is ready for Israel. One meaning of spider in Hebrew is to destroy or to make desolate. This is prophetic ambiguity, and so I don't know anything about somebody coming into the temple. People are accusing all kinds of leaders of being the Antichrist and come in the temple and do sacrifices or whatever. Well, we don't know. Only Yahweh knows. But I'm showing to you allusions to it. Allusions to Lucifer being worshipped in the temple right there at the door. If you look at the 8th gate of Babylon, it's the Ishtar gate, you'll see something very similar, where the spider has 8 legs and claims to be the doorkeeper. That if you want to enter the temple, you have to enter in through her. It's a perfect match right there to the name of Inanna and the spider. Those two objects right there. Lucifer, the red spider. I showed that earlier, and this is what we have here is ambiguity of Lucifer being the red spider right here. This places Inanna on the door, 8 and 3. Right here is there's 4 on this side, 4 on this side, and the chevron at the bottom. So now Lucifer is a light to the nations. And the lamp is at the break of dawn. It signals the shacharet, morning prayers. Shacharet is from the Hebrew word shachar, and shachar, it means to be black, dark, dawn, at twilight, to be without light. It's early in the morning, because Lucifer was called in scriptures is Hillel ben Shachar in Isaiah 14:12. Hillel ben Shachar is the son of the morning. Other scholars understand that Ben could be a student, that Lucifer was a student of the Torah, but I'm of the light, student of the light of Shachar, the light, the son of the Torah. But I'm looking here and seeing Lucifer, Shachar, is without the light, is early in the morning. So early in the morning, the lamp of Helena has a name and symbol of Inanna in it, and they light it up, and the people are actually worshiping Lucifer. That's the worship of Lucifer and the third temple that Yahweh's revealed to me, and these are the dangers to see. This is a replacement Messiah that has 8 legs. 88. Here is being symmetrical by putting, you can see 8 and 8 on both sides. 8 here, 8 there. 8 and 8. 88. 88 is also a picture of Lucifer, because Venus has two transit of 8 years apart. That's 88. There are 88 constellations that Yahweh has made. These are the powers that Yahweh's put over the universe. I have a file called the Order of the Universe, and if you run into that, it will help you to see the order of the universe. And Lucifer has been given 88, and that's why our globalists have the number 88. Like BlackRock, for example. BlackRock was founded in 1988, and many globalist leaders use 88. There's a file, a video you'll see, it's called 28, it's 88. The 8 is above the 3. 8, and here's a chevron right there. It's in here 4 times. Right there. Four times it's used. One on the top, like down here at the bottom, and right here. So, same thing here. Just to show you illustration. This is how the world does it in their films and so forth. The nations use 8 and 3. And here is how the aliens do it. This is a crop circle. I have, if you subscribe to the channel, you will see that I'm going to show the spider in crop circles. There's a list I showed you at the beginning, and the crop circles will be one of them. I have at least about 6 or 7 images that show the name and symbol of Inanna in the crop circles. So with this lamp here, this lamp shows to me the same spirit of anti-Messiah, and the reason why is if I take this lamp and if I turn that lamp upside down, it's going to show to me the same as this crop circle, because right here is a chevron right there. Right here is another chevron. And there's 8 bars. So either way, if you turn it, it's still going to show 8 and V. This shows to me that Lucifer is leading the nations and the Temple Institute, because you need to have the blood of Yeshua. You need to receive your Messiah. There's no way around it. People have been preaching all these years, but I'm showing to you something different, something new that our Creator has put together to help you to see, to give you a chance to show these dangers that's in the world. These are the things to be set apart and to trust in Him. That was the light of Lucifer. The light of the world is a fake one. The anti-Messiah, the replacement Messiah, is 8, not 7. Yahweh is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Yahweh is the strength of my day. Of whom shall I be afraid? Psalms 27:1. If you believe in the Trinity, I want to leave you with these words to keep believing according to your conviction, because nothing will separate you from your Maker. Trust in Yahweh with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. Acknowledge Him in all your ways, and He will direct your path. Proverbs 3:5 and 6. May Yahweh bless you and keep you.